What's going on, guys? Reed Orlando here with another episode of Reed SPN Sports Podcast. UFC 236 is finally here. Now, just to touch up on the TJ Dillashaw thing that I was talking about on, when did I do it? Wednesday? Here's the other thing, and this is what I've been getting a lot of from my friends and whatnot. What is different from this and the John Jones situation? Now, John Jones, it's been established that he took a tainted supplement. Mind you, you can call his bluff on that, and you could say maybe he took something knowingly, but USADA did clear him of this, and it came up as a very trace amount. EPO has to be injected intravenously into your body. There's a big difference between what TJ Dillashaw did and what John Jones might have did. And John Jones, mind you, paid the price. We're talking 2 years of his career, really, from his first positive drug test back when he was supposed to fight Daniel Cormier the second time originally, and then when he tested positive again when he fought DC that second time, and before his fight with Alexander Gustafsson, which was proven that it was a tainted supplement and they weren't going to punish him for anything like that. So that is what the big difference to here is. This is my cat Ari, a big pain in the ass, fucking puked on my bed, I'm pissed. But back to the TJ Dillashaw thing, it's just, he came out with a post today, and he was saying that he let his fans down and all this, and that he's going to keep working. He's going to keep trying to, within the next 2 years, he's going to get all his injuries fixed, his torn rotator cuff and everything like that. But he never gave a real distinct reason as to why he took it. He actually did admit that he took EPO. There's no way to really hide it at this point. So we'll see where it goes from here. With this whole TJ Dillashaw thing. He's not going to be fighting for 2 years, and we'll see if he comes back as good as he was before, because EPO is a huge, huge advantage for anyone fighting in any combat sport. A lot of cyclers use it because you can keep going and going all day. And for those of you that don't know what EPO is, it just increases your red blood cell count, which gives off more oxygen, which gives you the ability to work harder than other athletes. Okay, so that's that. Now, this weekend we have, tomorrow I should say, we have Kelvin Gastelum versus Israel Adesanya, and in the main event we have Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. Now, another fight was just announced previous to this, and it's Pedro Munoz versus Aljamain Sterling, and I'm almost positive that is for the #1 contender spot, to see who will be fighting for the belt next after Marlon Moraes and Henry Cejudo plays out. So I'm just going to be doing a breakdown of the co-main and main event for this weekend for UFC 236. And mind you, this is for all of you, just as a reminder, you cannot buy the pay-per-view unless it's on ESPN Plus. So if you don't have an ESPN Plus account already, do that. And I know they're giving an offer where it's $79 for the year, and you get this pay-per-view with a year subscription to ESPN Plus. So it's a pretty good deal. Like I was saying in one of my earlier podcasts, that I think that they should work something out with like an exclusive deal to where you pay a certain amount of money per month for ESPN plus a pay-per-view. It looks like they're somewhat doing that. Not exactly how I said it, but like I said, the $79 a month, you get the ESPN Plus subscription plus the pay-per-view for UFC 236. Now, Kelvin Gastelum versus Israel Adesanya. This is going to be an interim title fight for the middleweight belt. This is going to be an awesome fight, in all honesty. And really what it comes down to here is just that I don't see how Kelvin Gastelum is going to get inside of Israel Adesanya's reach. Now, I'm going to go over the breakdown right now, and I'll give you more in-depth explanation as to why I don't think he's going to get inside his reach. But this is the first thing to start. Kelvin definitely has the power advantage here, but the question is, will he be able to land a power shot, specifically that left hand? His jab left straight combo is lethal, but I think Adesanya will avoid that combo because it's so predictable with movement and slowing down Kelvin's mobility with kicks, which he's been very good at so far in his tenure in the UFC. Adesanya has a more complex and diverse striking arsenal in terms of striking. He has a clear advantage there. Kelvin has the clear advantage with wrestling. He is a state champ in Arizona and even wrestled in college for a year and then pursued MMA. Now, Kelvin's been using his wrestling more defensively as of recent within the last couple of years. I think that if he really wants to beat Israel Adesanya, he has to use the skill that Israel Adesanya lacks, and that would be his wrestling, and that would be his grappling overall. People forget that Kelvin is a black belt under the 10th Planet system, so he is a high-level grappler. But as of recent, since he's moved up to middleweight, he's relied a lot on his power, which here you cannot rely on your power with Israel Adesanya because odds are you're not going to be able to get off that one power shot. Now, back to what I was saying. Kelvin has a 50% takedown success rate. But he has not used his wrestling offensively like I talked about. Adesanya's got an 85% defensive takedown rate, which is very impressive. Even when he did get taken down, he gets right back up to his feet. There was a time when he fought Derek Brunson back in November, who's, mind you, a multiple-time Division II All-American. He even had a body lock on Israel, and Israel just backed himself up into the cage and worked off the cage strategically to be able to break that clinch and to avoid getting taken down by Brunson. So Adesanya's takedown defense is great. He's not going to be an easy person to take down. However, I do think that Kelvin Gastelum can take him down potentially. Now, can Kelvin close the distance enough to shoot for a takedown without paying for it? He will have a lot of distance to cover. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Israel Adesanya has a 6.5-inch reach advantage, which is ridiculous. Adesanya's got an 81. What does he have? An 80-inch reach. He has an 80-inch reach, which is unbelievable. Besides John Jones, I think that he's got one of the more impressive reaches inside the UFC. Now, if Israel gets taken down and is held on his back for a while, how will his jiu-jitsu hold up? That is a big question. We have seen him get taken down, but we've seen him get right back up to his feet. If he's held down for an extended amount of time, how will he deal with Kelvin Gastelum's pressure from top? Like I said, black belt in jiu-jitsu, won a state championship in Arizona, wrestled in college. How will he deal with that? I think if he gets Israel down, it could lead to him getting submitted or getting controlled and ground and pounded this entire time. Israel's jiu-jitsu has not been tested. His takedown defense has been tested, and he's been able to pass that test so far. But how will it hold up in the long run? And we will find out, hopefully. Now, if Israel hurts Kelvin could shoot for a bag takedown out of desperation, what could lead to him getting finished and getting hit with a knee, like Derek Brunson did. Derek Brunson got cracked with a knee, and that led to his demise, and that's what led to him getting finished. Kelvin cannot let Israel control the pace of this fight. He has to fight at his pace because I do not think he can deal with the pace and pressure of Adesanya. He has to control the center of the cage. Otherwise, Israel will pick him apart slowly. Kelvin has great timing on that left hand. However, I think he will have a hard time finding his range in the proper timing to throw it effectively because of the reach advantage. Israel clearly has the speed advantage here, and he can definitely fluster Kelvin with his speed and his timing. Israel is very patient. He will wait to unload the proper technique depending on the situation, meaning Kelvin Gastelum shoots for a bad takedown. Israel Adesanya throws that flying knee. He's very technical, and he always throws the appropriate strike for that moment. I think that Israel Adesanya is the best striker in the UFC, and it's been on display for a long time now since he's been in the UFC. He's 5-0 in the UFC, and look how quick he's moving up the ranks. He's been able to dominate some of the better fighters in that division. Now, mind you, this is his biggest test so far. But me personally, I think he's going to pass this test, and I think Israel Adesanya is going to win. On the feet, Israel has the clear advantage. If Kelvin can make it a dogfight by clinching, dirty boxing, constantly threatening to take down, he can win this fight, but he has to make it ugly. Otherwise, Israel will pick him apart on the feet and will finish him within 2 or 3 rounds. That's my personal opinion. Winner, Israel Adesanya. 3rd round TKO. Kelvin can win if he takes him down and can impose his will, but he will waste a lot of energy doing so, and if he's not able to get him down, which Israel Adesanya has that 85% takedown defensive rate, I think Israel Adesanya will pick him apart from a range where he can hit Kelvin and Kelvin cannot hit him because of the distinct reach advantage. Oh, Israel has an 8.5-inch reach advantage, not a 6.5-inch reach advantage, 8.5-inch reach advantage, which is unbelievable. He can get, I think Kelvin's best chance to win is to get on the inside of his reach so he can clinch and make the fight ugly. However, I see Israel unloading on Kelvin because Kelvin can't find his range in this fight. Israel just has to keep the fight standing and fight at his pace and fight at his range, and he'll be able to finish him, in my personal opinion. I'm picking a 3rd round TKO for Israel Adesanya. Now, the next... let me ask this question to my fans or whoever's listening to this. Can either of these guys beat Robert Whittaker? I don't know. I would like to see Robert Whittaker versus Israel Adesanya, 2 New Zealand guys, to see who really is the best middleweight in the world right now. Now, we also have Yoel looming. We have a lot of other killers, Jacare. We have a bunch of killers. So let's see how this fight first plays out. Let's see what goes on with Whittaker, and let's see when this fight takes place. Now, the next fight, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. Pressure versus power. Here's the thing. Max Holloway in this fight, I believe he's got a 3-inch reach advantage, if I'm not mistaken, okay? What makes Max Holloway so great is his ability to fight at his range and to fight at a range where he can hit you and where you can't hit him. And Max Holloway, what he's so good at is pressuring opponents. Now, we've seen Dustin Poirier pressured before by Justin Gaethje. Now, Justin Gaethje did pressure him, and Justin Gaethje did have him in some trouble. But Dustin Poirier rode out the storm and waited for the right opportunity and engaged in the pocket in the right way. Now, Max Holloway fighting at his range is definitely the key to winning here, since he does have a reach advantage and he's the more longer fighter here. Dustin Poirier's key to winning this is to fight inside the pocket. Now, it's going to be hard to get inside the pocket with Max Holloway, but he does have a power advantage, Dustin Poirier. Inside of the pocket, he certainly has the advantage, and I think he has more technical, more crisper striking inside the pocket. Max Holloway does tend to overextend at times, which I think if you overextend too much on Dustin Poirier, he will make you pay for it. He'll step up and he'll throw the appropriate strike. So this is going to be a very good fight. Like I said, it's pressure versus power here. And Dustin Poirier, I mean, he's fought murderers. He's went through murderer's row to get where he is now. After getting knocked out by McGregor and moving up to lightweight, I mean, he's been on a tear. He last beat Justin Gaethje. Before that, he beat Eddie Alvarez. I think he beat Eddie Alvarez twice, but that first time there was controversy with that UFC Buffalo card because Eddie Alvarez kneed him in the face. So this is just an overall great fight. Now, mind you, Dustin Poirier knocked out Max Holloway when they first fought, but these are two totally different fighters. And if you don't think Max Holloway's improved since 2013 or whenever they first fought, you're sadly mistaken. Max Holloway, in my opinion, is pound for pound one of the best fighters in the UFC right now. I'd put him top 4 or 5, in all honesty. And I think him securing a win over Dustin Poirier puts him in a unique position that most fighters have not been put in before. He's pretty much cleared out the featherweight division. Mind you, he's only defended the belt 3 times, but he's cleared out that division. The win streak that he's on right now, I believe he's on a 13-fight win streak. He hasn't lost. No, he lost after Dustin Poirier. But the thing is this, Max Holloway is just so good, and he's so good at timing those strikes. And one of the things that Max Holloway is so great at is just his relentless pace. He's going to put a pace on Dustin Poirier that Dustin Poirier can keep up with for a little bit. But I think in those later rounds, the 4th and the 5th rounds, I think that it's going to be Holloway all day. And I don't see Dustin Poirier knocking Max Holloway out. He could, but I just don't see it. Max Holloway's too good. He's too good at controlling range. He's too good at controlling distance. And he's too good at finding the proper shots for that specific moment. So I think Holloway's going to take the center of the cage and he's going to pressure Poirier. Poirier's going to be able to deal with that pressure for a while, but I think in those 4th and 5th rounds, it's Max Holloway all day. So I'm picking Max Holloway to win this one. He's the longer. I think that he's the more. I just say that he's the more. I don't want to say he's better. Like I said, Poirier is a more technical striker, but Max Holloway's pace and his distance control and his timing is impeccable. And I think that his timing is better than Dustin Poirier's. Even though Dustin Poirier has great timing, I think in those later rounds, Max Holloway's going to wear on him like he's done to everyone. What he did to Jose Aldo twice, no one has ever done. He didn't knock him out in 13 seconds like Conor McGregor did, but I find what Max Holloway did to Jose Aldo to be more impressive. Thank you guys for listening. Quick little breakdown. Just wanted to give this for you guys. Thank you for your continued support of Read SPN Sports Podcast. We got a good amount of views the last one, so let's keep it going. And if you haven't done so already, follow Read SPN at Instagram. I have a Twitter, but I haven't used it. It's not Read SPN. I got to figure all that out. But thanks, guys, for listening. And tune to the next episode. I'll probably do a post-fight show on Monday. All right, guys? Thank you.